Funny. I have, speaking of love-hate relationship,
Yeah.
I think that it's great in a lot of ways. I think it's incredibly incomplete in a lot of ways. But it's kind of funny, like people, just friends of mine that I've been, I mean, as you know, it's hard to help your friends with this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'd be trying for years. They call me up and be like, I got it all figured out. I saw this film, The Secret. I know it's, I'm like, I've been trying to tell you that for how many years? But it reached, you know, it's a great, well, actually, as a matter of fact, I was just teaching the class metaphors today, and I think that it's a great number of stories and metaphors that teach people the foundation of you know, the law of attraction and what it's all about. Again, though, I do think it's very, very incomplete.
It is. It's like a story, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a sort of just a lovely story.
Yeah.
You know, like a nursery rhyme or something like that. And I think it does give a lot of hope. Do you think?
Absolutely, and it works. It works. You know, whatever we focus on, whether it be this, you know, universal law of attraction, or whether it be what you're probably familiar with, you know, our reticular activating system, just that part of our brain that's in charge of focus. Doesn't matter. It still works when you use it. And again, it's just that it's still nothing's going to come to you without some kind of action. And I think people are getting that, though. I think people have really learned since that
They
film.
learned the hard way.
Exactly, exactly. It's like, well, you know, I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about it. Some things will. I mean, I've had some that just, it is just plain spooky.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you know, it's a lot easier for me to just reach up and grab this water as opposed to just think about somebody bringing it to me.
Right. Or in 10 minutes, I'm going to manifest a cup of water.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I am on the same page as you. I do believe, you know, in manifestation, but, you know, obviously there's a lot of planning involved, and, you know, there has to be action. And, you know, it's consistent small action, not necessarily grand action every so often. Ta-da! You know, that kind of stuff. So I agree. Okay, so you were in New York. You said you were all over the place, and then you were in New York, and then where did you go? What happened?
I eventually moved to San Rafael.
Where's that?
San Rafael is about half-hour north of the Golden Gate Bridge in past San Francisco. Lived there for a few years, and that's where I really started building things. That's where I, you know, started my private practice and really started building, and eventually started training after having a private practice long enough. And it's kind of interesting. I had been into NLP and personal development for, well, I've been into all of this for about 15 years now. But about this first 7 years of that, quite honestly, was the least of my intentions to be helping anybody else with it.
Oh, isn't that fantastic? Because so many don't.
yeah, I know.
Right?
Yeah. Some of my students, even, I have to kind of like slow them down. They're like, so when can I become a trainer? Whoa, slow down. There's a lot to learn, you know. It's, you know, but yeah, I mainly use it for my own personal development.
Fantastic.
And, yeah.
Good for you. And so, what inspired you to become an NLP trainer?
Well, a number of things. Some very much towards, and some a little bit away. Some of it, quite honestly, I was really dissatisfied with the way I saw some people doing it, where they were just teaching the curriculum and not making sure everyone, you know, not making sure that people get it. You know, I mean, I won't name names.
Best
but,
not to.
Yeah, exactly. But I've just seen some where, you know, the students are practicing, they're going out on smoke breaks, you know, and it's like, how do you know they're getting it? So that was part of it. But also, I love it. I mean, I love, you know, I love having a private practice. But as you know, again, I know I'm preaching to the choir on this one, it's so much easier to help somebody in an intensive environment. So I'm able to teach them how to do what I do, and at the same time guide them through the experiences.
Isn't that the best?
Well.
I just love that. I love teaching people that know a little bit about NLP, something about their processes.
Yeah.
That's really phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I think they really like it too, don't they?
Yeah. It's, I mean, well.
Or it could go either way. I mean, they could come in as a client and then end up as a student as well.
Yeah, and that's happened. That's actually happened a number of times.
Why do you like
Yeah, as far as, the thing is, whether it be hypnotherapists, NLP practitioners, heck, even massage therapists.
Yes, because I'm a massage therapist as well.
There we go.
Since 1994.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah. But in general, they tend to be terrible at marketing. And it's not hard. It's not hard. The best and the fastest way to get yourself out there with clients is to be doing free, yes I said free, speaking engagements.
Yeah.
And there's no shortage of groups, especially with meetup.com.
That's right.
Okay? And the thing is, remember, don't just talk about what you do, especially if it's NLP. Please don't do that to yourself. Yeah, don't try to explain what NLP. You'll confuse them. You'll bore them. It'll be a big yawn fest. Give them the experience. Okay. If you're familiar with Circle of Excellence, even if you haven't learned how to do it, it's actually pretty simple. You can do that with groups and give them a solid experience. You can teach them some simple anchoring techniques. One of my favorites, as I mentioned, the Seeing Yourself Through the Eyes of Love, originally created by Leslie. Exactly. I'm telling you, you do that with a group, you're not going to get everyone, but the ones that you do are going to be very, very moved. And as long as you are confident enough to market yourself afterwards and let people know that that you are for hire. Okay. By the way, also in the very beginning, before even doing anything, ask their permission. What I mean by that specifically is you want to let them know that you're going to deliver 90 to 95% incredible value and profound experiences, and 5 to 10% sharing your products if you have them, and or services. Okay. They're going to greatly appreciate that, and they're going to feel a tremendous amount of rapport, because then they realize, okay, great, this isn't some big pitch fest. And the best marketing is through teaching and giving people experiences. Don't just try to be like, okay, so if you hire me for this and all this sort of stuff, definitely make sure to have your quote-unquote sales pitch at the end. But it's not hard. It's actually quite easy. I've never once done a speaking engagement where I didn't come away with at least one new client and or student. So it's just a matter of doing it and having, the way I like to say it is your format, your bullet points, just what it is that you're speaking about, why it's important to them, and how they can have it, how can they experience it, and give them that experience. Okay? If you do that and you do it consistently, you're going to have a really you're going to have clients. Especially in this economy, people are seeking that assistance. Okay, they are looking for us. Just make sure that they know you're out there.
Especially in this economy,
yeah.
Because in this economy, everybody is looking for solutions, and what we do is we're professional solution solvers. That's what we do. We master the art of solutions. But I just wanted to add to what Kevin said and say that if you don't feel confident, because I know there are tons and tons of you that don't yet feel confident to run your own group. Now, if you don't feel confident to run your own group, how about you put up on Meetup or something like Meetup, and Meetup's everywhere in the world, so you can't really say it's not in my area. But if you use Meetup and you say, well, I'm looking for a few buddies to practice with, and I don't have much experience myself, but let's all get together and hash it out and see how we can get on. So what do you think of that, Kevin?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's no, sometimes, they'll be like, oh, I want to practice with people. There's no shortage of people looking for practice partners.
Getting them together, isn't it?
Yeah,
because a lot of people, even who come to groups that I have and trainings that I have, they want to find somebody in their area, and they want to, in their spare time, have a buddy to go out and go to a coffee shop and practice little inductions and new things that they've learned, and stuff like that. So that's a good idea too. And then you'll get confident enough and run your own group, maybe.
Absolutely. And I'll emphasize on that as well, is get out there and do it. Get out there and market yourself. I run a meetup group as well, and some of them, they get out there and do it. Some of them, sometimes I kind of want to smack them sometimes. Use it. Stop coming here just to sit here.
Back
Use
to action, isn't it?
Exactly.
It always comes back to action. And again, it's not that ta-da big stuff. It's constant, persistent action, little chunks.
Yeah.